not that the other circles aren't important, but I believe work begets work. I believe that energy of producing and continuing to produce and continue to build into people's lives. I believe that's tangible.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Tazz. First and foremost, let me thank you guys for coming back one more time to check out the Intro Dallas podcast. I thank you guys for liking, sharing, commenting, whatever you guys are doing to make this a success. I appreciate you. For all of our past guests that we've had, if you're watching right now, I appreciate you guys for doing so. The life of media, or the life of media for me, that is, it's one of those situations where if you really, really don't love it, you'll have those times where you be like, why am I here? But the ultimate goal is always to be successful in everything that I do, and you guys make it so worth it. This is a new day, a new time. I know this month is, by the time this show come out, we would have had recorded this already, but this is during June. So this is the Juneteenth month, but this is also Pride Month also, and I'm excited to be able to celebrate both. I told people on social media that this is like the first real year that I've been able to just be like, woosah, this is who I am, this is what I do, and I enjoy doing it. I When I made the post, I had a lot of people comment and in support, and I was surprised that as many people that did actually comment in that support of Pride, or in the support of Juneteenth, or whatever. It was just surprising because you never know really what a person is going through, or what a person needs to hear or needs to see until they're there. Or even more personally, I didn't know where I was or what I needed to see or feel until I made the post and I put it out there. Shouts out to my cousin Yolanda, who connected us with a lady who just wanted to support the LGBTQ community and done a photo shoot. And this was the first photo shoot I ever done to really celebrate me and who I was and what I was doing. And Yolanda jumped in the pictures, and it was amazing. I'll tag the photographer in the description, and you can go to some of the previous posts on my page, and you can look at the pictures that we were able to do. You can contact her for your photos also. I learned that for me, that was a woosah moment. That was one of those moments where I was actually able to say, okay, I did it. And not be concerned or be worried about what other people would say or what they wouldn't say, who would support or who wouldn't support. Because pretty much for the longest, my whole situation, or my mind thought was, I had to present something to people to make them want to be around, make them want to support, or just make them want to have anything to do with me. But I'm about to be 40. And at this age, you have to get to the point to where you want to be free and you want to live and be happy just because it's what you want to do. And I had to get there. And now that I am there, I'm never going to leave this spot. And I said all that to encourage you, the viewer, the listener, get to a place to where you realize, I don't care if you're 39, 40, or 20 and 21, get to a place to where you realize that you matter in who you are. Because once you're comfortable with you, nothing else matters. And even being comfortable with you may make other people uncomfortable. Live with that, because I got to the point for me that I'm more excited about me being comfortable and being alive than me being uncomfortable but pretending to be comfortable, wishing I was dead and gone, while all the time making other people feel like something that was really not even a part of who I really was. I'm happy, and my encouragement for you, whether it's in your relationship, whether it's in your job, whether it's in your career, whatever your thing is, find your comfort even if it make other people unhappy. Because at the end of the day, the only thing that really matters is your level of happiness in whatever it is you're doing. Again, you're watching the Intro Dallas podcast. I am your host, Tazz. Today, I have a special guest who is also one of the first guests I had when I introduced the Intro Dallas. Mr. Keith Arthur Bolden is on the finale of one of my favorite shows. Of course, again, by the time this come out, this show would probably have been like probably a week or so behind. But he is playing on Black Lightning. Black Lightning. He's the father of Jeffrey Pierce, who plays the Black Lightning. I'm excited because, and of course, I am the producer and everything. So whenever y'all see me looking down, y'all see me playing with this computer, it's because we're getting stuff together. Uh, he was also one of the first guests whenever we introduced what we were going to do with the Intro Dallas. Him and his son were in town. I want to say probably from Cali or something like that. And we had Ale Lounge off of Chapel here in the DFW area, and they were able to come in and be guests and come and kick it, and we interviewed them there. And it just so happens that I got an email that was like, the father of Jeffrey Pierce on Black Lightning. I was like, I'm here for it. I am here for it. Shouts out to Kelly, who just sent me a message, and I did not, let me turn this down. I did not mute anything that I was doing. But shout out to Miss Kelly D. Lewis for That's It podcast, radio show, KKS, the whole nine yards. That's my sister, although I haven't seen you in a while. But I still support everything you do. And if you ever need a soprano who can literally be a whole soprano section or backgrounds or whatever, you definitely want to have Kelly or your team. I'll tag her in the comments too. In the meantime, in between time, everybody's been asking me, who am I listening to? Who am I vibing to? What am I watching? What's going on in life? So I wanted to, this is something new that we're doing for the Intro Dallas, whether it be the video or whether it be with you just listening to this part. I decided to get more personal with my viewers and let people see me, and we'll have people come in and we'll do setup talks or whatever that follows up into our interviews if there are interviews. But sometimes we'll just shoot it and have some news and conversation and just have fun talking to people. There's a lot going on right now. One thing that comes to mind is I'm excited that we are in a place where African Americans, regardless to everything that's going on, there's a, to me only, let me be partial because other people may not agree. But to me, there is, we are in a time or season to where a lot of things that we are doing as African Americans is really prospering, business wise. Shouts out to my mentor, Rock T, and his wife, Crystal. Let me pull up that information of what they have going on. I love talking about successful people. And I was online, and it just so happens that I saw their post for what they are doing. Let's see, Rocky Turner. If also if you guys would like to follow him, you can follow Rocky. No, I'm sorry, Rock T Holla on Instagram. When I say mentor, he's been one of those guys that I can depend on to talk to for a very long time regarding business. He supported me, and in return, I definitely want to support him and make sure that people know who he is. They have a podcast also. Their podcast is really dope. But I want to congratulate them because they are getting into the water business. Why not? I believe that you have to have several streams of income because the one thing that this pandemic has taught me is that just depending on your 9 to 5 job for the rest of your life is not going to cut it. because we don't know if something happens, or if even if whenever the pandemic come back, if we have to go through what we have to go through and people can't go to work and we can't make money by leaving the house. But there are other things that we can do to make money, investing in stock, having your own, like, I was doing t-shirts for a very long time. Let me guys let y'all see my shirt. I was doing t-shirts for a very long time, and I wasn't making good money. But there became a time that I was like, you know what, I'm going to chill. This is also available at www.ilovethespotlight.com. But there was a time whenever I put it down because whatever, life got busy. But during the pandemic, I was able to survive by picking this back up, doing the mask, doing the shirt, just print on basically anything. And it was able to suffice to where until we were able to get back out in the street and companies had money and wanted to invest or wanted to advertise or wanted to do things, I had to make things happen myself my own way. So I went back to this. With that being said, I want to congratulate Rock T and his wife Crystal because they've partnered up with Positivity Water. Um, Let me read a little bit of what Rock T said. Again, you can follow him at Rock T Holler. God is amazing and we're truly grateful. We normally move in silence, but when it comes to our financial portfolio, but this blessing is a game changer that we wanted to share and use as motivation to others. This is proof that with faith, determination, and power, to not let anyone or anything steer you from your dreams and goals. Claim victory on all that you aspire to do. Who would have thought that a little boy from Detroit and a girl from Amarillo, Texas would become black owners and investors in a bottled water company? Positivity Water. I need you guys to search Positivity Water on social media also to find out more about that. Um, as African Americans, we now have a seat at the table in this multi-billion-dollar bottled water industry. This is just the beginning. Bigger opportunities are on the way for our community. If you follow him and you're interested in getting in, even on the Positivity Water, I think they are opening up or giving you ideas on how you can get involved in that. And that's one of those industries where the likelihood of it not working, I don't even know what to tell you, but it's very much worth at least finding out information about. People ask me who am I listening to nowadays in music, due to the fact that we're also a radio station. Besides this podcast, one of my favorite new, I'm not even going to say new to the world, but new to me, I just recently found out about Red Hands. Oh my goodness. I need a picture of them. As a matter of fact, while I'm talking about them, I'm going to get a picture of them. Red Hands is one of those companies that, not companies, music artists who to me has changed the name of gospel music. Um, because it's not the regular of what you would think or believe gospel music is supposed to sound like. They have taken this contemporary. You know what? I can't do that because I got to formulate the picture. Red Hands. They have took the concept of what I consider P.J. Morton, D'Angelo, and they've made this thing for gospel or inspirational music that makes me want to listen to them. And I bump it. Oh my goodness, do I bump it? It's in like not just certain songs, like every single song. And I listened to their live project today before I came in, and I'm walking through my apartment, and it's on loud. So if you're looking for inspirational music that gives you a feel like you can vibe to, get with, check out Red Hands. If you are in DFW and you're looking for some really dope music to listen to, I have to support her because she's supported me. And anytime I want to sit down and talk with her, she always sit down and talk with me. And she's gonna be here in a couple days, weeks, whatever. Is hashtag Mandy. Hashtag Mandy is dope. She's a dope singer, and I absolutely love her music. She's doing a lot of stuff in the DFW. Lava Cantina, I think on Sundays, she is taking over a lot of spots. She's at that damn daiquiri, Lava Tina. I think I saw some at House of Blues, the Freeman. Like, Mandy is everywhere. My favorite song is always going to be Show Me. I'm sorry, Mandy. I'm always going to be partial to that song because that's how I fell in love with you. I was at Taco Bell and I called you in the drive thru hollering and screaming. I love Show Me. That song is dope for real. Um, so you'll always get my support with that song. Always. I would get on your nerves because of Show Me. That song done something to me. And it just continues to live in my brain rent freaking free. For more information on Mandy, look her up on social media. Um, I will include her social media in the description. Also, I have a lot of including to do. I'm doing this on the fly. So I need y'all to know that Amanda Maxfield, as a matter of fact, on social media. Look her up, follow her, get to know her in her music. She has been able to open up for some really dope artists recently. She's opened up for 50 Cent. She's opened up, I think, for Snoop Dogg. At one time, she was on the road with Charlie. I'm not gonna say the last name because I don't want to screw it up. But she's a wonderful singer. If you ever need somebody to come to your event and just give it to you like nobody, you need hashtag freaking Mandy. That girl can sing for real. Shouts out to uh, everybody that's doing it. So there's a lot of people doing a lot of things in the DFW, a lot of people in business, a lot of people in music, and I'm excited to know each and every one of you. Um, if I had to have a quick subject before we get to this interview, I would talk about what would I talk about? Let's talk about Tyler Perry and TD Jakes. They have one of my biggest pet peeves, I guess it's safe to say, is it's hard for us, for some reason, to do business together successfully because a lot of times we concentrate more on making sure we make it, which causes us to a lot of time not make it or take longer to get there because a lot of times we don't want to see other people get there before us. I understand the whole I want to be successful thing, but sometimes we have to get beyond that and realize that if there's a lot of people doing the same thing that we're doing and none of us are really up there, but we are doing good in what we do, imagine what could happen if we all join together and do this together at the same time. Join teams, merge. There's nothing wrong with a merger. Why you think T-Mobile and Metro PCS or Verizon and Spectrum Mobile, like there's something that happens when you merge. You're able to do bigger, you're able to accomplish things faster than before, but we oftentimes stop ourselves because we don't want to allow people the opportunity to quote unquote get in on what we're building. But if you really think about it, how long have you been building what you're doing and to what success have you gotten? But let's talk about this. Bishop T.D. Jakes approved to purchase 94.5 acres of land adjacent to the Tyler Perry studios. And it reads, this is coming from theatlantavoice.com. T.D. Jakes Real Estate Ventures has been approved to purchase 94.5 acres of land on Fort McPherson. The land is adjacent to the Tyler Perry studios. Um, the local redevelopment authority board of Fort McPherson also approved Tyler Perry Studios to purchase an additional 37.5 acres of land. Bishop Jakes will be building office and retail space as well as housing units. The redevelopment plan is focused specifically on bringing affordable housing to the Fort Mac area. He goes on to say, I see too many black and brown working class people still falling victim to the continued gentrification of our neighborhoods. I'm extremely excited about the accessible ownership options that will exist for future residents of the multi generational community. Think about this. It would have been great, uh, just period point blank, if it was just one of them doing this. But let's go down a little bit further before I go into it. It says Jakes called the development. Hold on, let's go. Bishop Jakes thanked Tyler Perry along with Governor Brian Kemp and the mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms for supporting in this development. Jakes called the project an opportunity to serve and further amplify the vision of the unwavering commitment to attracting growth and development excellence to the city of Atlanta. Um, you can't now know this, although I didn't say it. Know this. Know that they're not just purchasing this land right by each other and they're not going to do something together. You have to look at the partnership that they've had throughout the years to know that. Imagine how powerful they are about to be, more powerful they are about to be together working on this, and how it's going to change that area, how it's going to provide jobs, it's providing houses, it's providing things that's needed, and it's not just contingent upon one person. Working together, you can accomplish so much, and it's hard for us sometimes to wrap our mind around it, again, because we're so concerned about, we want to get up, we want to do this, we want to build, we want to have money. Individually, this is I. They always say there's no I in team, but there is an I in winner. And in order to be a winner, sometimes you have to merge. Sometimes you have to work with people, which is why I developed, shameless plug, the Spotlight Universal Network, which is a network developed for individuals who are already in podcasting, or those who want to enter the podcast world and just have no clue how to do it, or they don't have what it takes to do it. They don't know how to get their podcasts on all the popular platforms, or whatever. I learned that doing this for others will allow them to expand their brand, expand their listenership, get sponsorships from people, get money. So we have to get to a place to where we can work together. And if we do that, I promise you, the one thing I do believe is if and after we get there, you will be able to say you're there, you made it. You've done something that most people would tell you that you're crazy for even thinking about. I said all that to say this. Don't don't shortchange yourself. Let me say that I was listening to the Breakfast Club, and I was listening to D.L. Hughley, and they were talking about the crabs in the barrel syndrome, and D.L. said something that was so profoundly right that it dropped in my mind whenever I was talking about working together. The crabs in the basket, bucket, or whatever. It's supposed to be very negative, to where they're saying, like, whenever one person is trying to get out the mud or get out the struggle, somebody else is crawling on them and pulling back down or whatever. Think about this. Nobody want to be in the bucket. Them crabs not trying to be in the bucket. All of them trying to get out. Don't nobody want to be stuck to where, you know, they're just stuck and there's no movement, there's no progression. So we're all trying to get out of something. So don't consider not merging because you don't want to feel like you're being left behind. You're not being left behind. Trust me, you're not. That's why, again, I tell people it's all in the merge. It's all in seeing somebody who's doing what you're doing, who's effective in that lane, who's not afraid to say, okay, let's work together. I've had and have given a whole bunch of options to work with people who are in media, who are in radio, who are in podcasting, who are in music, whatever. Because the one thing I realize is, number one, there's too much money out here to do it by yourself. There's enough money for everybody. There is enough money for everybody. And sometimes the best way to get the bulk of the money is teaming up with somebody who's able to get money too. So do me a favor, consider all of that. I love you guys. And once again, today's guest on the Intro Dallas is the one and only Mr. Keith Arthur Bolden. He is an actor, a philanthropist, and a teacher. You guys will find out, a professor, I'm sorry. You guys will find out more about all of that in the upcoming interview. Do me a favor, as you see streaming down at the bottom of the stream, you can listen to the Intro Dallas podcast wherever you get your podcast. Meaning you can go to iHeartRadio, you can go to Amazon, you can go to Audible, you can go to Spotify. Just do me a favor and stream all of our previous shows. Shouts out to everyone who I have mentioned in this part of the show. Thank you once again. Well, thank you. I didn't thank, but thank you to Miss Diane Klein's courtesy of Legal Shield for everything that you're doing to help us make sure that we are legal and we ain't going to jail or getting sued in this piece. I'll talk about suing in the next show because I got something going on I'm going to share with you guys. But in the meantime, in between time, I love you guys. Let's get to Mr. Keith Arthur Bolden.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Tazz, and of course, you are listening to or you are watching the Intro Dallas podcast. You're either listening on Spotlight Radio during the Cheryl Underwood radio show, or you're watching us on our social media or on our podcast platform, the Intro Dallas. Look, today is a special day. I told him whenever I got him on that he made me really, really popular tonight because, last night, because he was on my son and my favorite show, Black Lightning. But this is also a special guest because he was the very first guest that I had for the concept of the Intro Dallas podcast whenever him and his son came to Dallas. One and only, everybody, it is the one and only Mr. Keith Arthur Bolden. He originally hails from Los Angeles, California. He obtained his master's of fine arts in acting from the University of Illinois, and he is the professional actor, director, and professor of theater and performance at Spelman College. How do you have time to do all this stuff, bro?
A mouthful. It's hard to get out. It's hard to get out of your mouth, right? It's all these multi hyphenates is really hard. If I was just an actor, that would be easy. But
that'd be easy.
Yeah, no, but but you know, man, it's not easy. It's no rest for the weary, and I love what I do, and I love to keep busy. I don't sleep a lot.
Yeah, evidently so.
but it's been working. It's been working out.
That's great. So for the ones that were not a part of the intro audience whenever we first had you on, tell us a little bit about your journey in getting into the acting.
Okay. Well, wow. There are a lot of different access ways to talk about how I got into it. The long journey, not the long story, but the long journey is that I wrote a play when I was about 8 years old about the birth of Christ. You know, my parents were really into church. We go to church, and I had never seen a play. I had never been in a play, but I knew how to write a play, and we did it. And we asked my cousins, and we had costumes, and it was about 30 minutes long. It was about the birth of Christ, and but after that, nobody in my family, everybody came to see it. Nobody said, "Hey, this kid has an interest in this." Mm-hmm. And I think that we as humans sometimes we don't value the interest of our children as real things, especially when it's something kind of artistic, because we don't equate art being artistic with making money.
Right.
You know? And so it went dormant. It went dormant for years. And it wasn't until I went to college at Fresno State and they started a Black theater program in 1991. And that was my freshman year. So you do the math. And the professor came to recruit students to be in a play called The Color Museum by George C. Wolfe. And I was like, well, I'm new. I want to be popular. How do I meet people? So I auditioned, and because I'm a clown. I consider myself a class clown at that point. But I did it, and I was hooked. I changed my major, and ended up going to graduate school. And so that's the long and short of it.
Wow. So
found me.
If in that process of you getting into the industry, the ups and downs, and the failures and the success, what was it about this industry that even when it was in a moment where it wasn't working out as well as you thought it would, you continued to stay here in this vein and say to yourself, Keith, this is going to work? What was that made you want to do that?
That's a good question. People have different values, and people measure success in different ways.
Yeah.
I never measured success by the jobs that I booked or by the money I was making. I always kind of measured it unknowingly by the relationships that I was able to develop and maintain and sustain. Sometimes those relationships they pay monetarily, but mostly they pay in my holistic life. And so I decided, and recently, this is kind of recent in pandemic, is to really kind of invest in my energy into different circles, right?
Yeah.
Invest in different energy and energies that are going to kind of give back into my life.
Mm-hmm.
And not that the other circles aren't important, but I believe work begets work. I believe that energy of producing and continuing to produce and continue to build into people's lives, I believe that's tangible. It's and it's needed. So people think that when you reach success and you try to ascend, that you're not keeping it real anymore, but you're ascending, right?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to ascend. Whatever field you're in, you want to ascend. You want to eat cheese and you want to eat wine and crackers and cheese, right? You don't want to drink 20/20 all the time. So that's what we all aspire to. And the thing that I've noticed is that people give you a hard time when you start to ascend, instead of trying to support that ascension in a way that's healthy. So I don't measure success by monetary compensation. I'm measured by the relationships that I have and being reliable.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm on a job right now shooting a film. And so I was told by the writer that the casting director, it was between me and another guy. And they went to the casting director, and the casting director said, no, that's the guy you want for professionalism, for talent. That's the guy that's reliable. And so see, that's important to me, that my reputation precedes me in terms of how I show up and how I go out. So yeah.
You are very busy. I know you say that you're on a set right now, but looking at what I'm being told that you're working with, I'm about to patronize a lot of movies for you, man. From The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. All my friends and family was like, why in the heck do you want to go see this movie? I'm a scary movie fan and I love The Conjuring. So I'm going to go see that. Of course, CW's Black Lightning, Cobra Kai. I didn't know that you was in Cobra Kai, and I'm watching Genius, man. What is the feeling? Because a lot of these movies are total different elements. Like, how do you fit yourself in all of these different personalities, so to say?
Well, that's a good question, man. You're asking some really good questions. I think I'm really flexible. Not just in my acting, but in who I am as a person. I feel like I can have a conversation with a lot of different people because there's a lot of different things that I'm interested in, right? And so I'm interested in people mostly. And I think that the fact that I observe people all the time, it helps me to embody different ways of being when I audition, right? Different behaviors. The thing that most actors miss, especially novices anyway, they miss the human behavior factor. They're like, they think I can emote, I'm funny, I'm silly, I'm loud, or I can sing. But what's the behavior?
Yeah.
Right. Everybody has an idiosyncrasy. You smell your fingers when you, or something like that.
Yeah.
You your ear, what is that? And so then what motivates that? What is that from? Well, I had a eardrum injury when I was a kid, so I always check to make sure it's there. Whatever backstory you want to have, but all of that relates to human behavior. And so I notice human behavior, I study it, and I think that when I audition, I bring different things to the audition. And so when I come to a set, because most of the time I'm not the lead, I'm a supporting character or supporting lead or even just a day player. I pick up on the energy that was on the set, right? If it's not a talkative set, then don't go on being talkative. Don't go on with the antithesis of what's already there. As a day player, you want to blend in. Now, if I was the lead or something like that, I could lead the kind of energy that's on the set, but I'm not the lead.
Yeah.
On this movie, I'm shooting with Mel Gibson, Josh Duhamel, Olivia Diabo. Like I'm shooting with some heavy hitters, right?
Yeah.
So those people have a style. Mel Gibson's a 2-time Academy Award winner. What am I going? It's nothing. I will learn more.
Yeah.
Than I will teach.
Yeah.
Right? In this moment.
Yeah.
I said a moment that's going to be forever, but in this moment, I can learn more. And so I don't mind being subservient. Sidebar, I'm a Kappa, right?
Okay.
So I had an interesting process where I was what I call myself an ace tray. We locked up with another school on the weekends, and on the weekends I was a tray club, a number 3 online, and during the week I was an ace online. So I learned then that sometimes I need to lead, and sometimes I need to follow.
Yeah.
And that's the lesson I took from that 6-7 week process.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I answered your question.
Oh no, yeah, definitely. And the one thing that you just said that stuck out, that I think a lot of people, to me, it's an art. It's the understanding when it's time to lead and when it's time to follow, rather than just making every moment your moment. I'll say this, I forgot to take the beginning. I still can't rock a hat because I cannot find my size, but I see you still rocking them. I am going to find my size. I want some hats, man.
Man, you gotta go to a hat shop, man. You gotta go to a hat shop.
Somebody told me today where to go. I'm gonna go because I'm about to be 40 this year. So I want to actually I need to man that. And that's gonna be part of my ownership of 40 years old.
Yeah, well, this is new for me. It's not, in the last 2 or 3 years. So it's not like I've been rocking them forever. Yeah.
I like that look. Is it hard to decompress from traumatic roles or gory roles?
No, not for me. No. For some people, because some people approach it differently. I'm not a method actor.
Okay.
There are things that I can do physically to get me to a place that I need to be, or that I just need silence to get there in a moment. But I stopped the practice of using personal trauma to get to a place a few years ago, because it's traumatic and it's not always effective. If you're doing a play, a 6-week run of a play, I can't use the death of my mother every night. It's just eventually that stimulus stops working. Then it becomes abuse, right? So now I have to remember physically, what does it take for me to feel the loss in my center? What is that loss? What is that overcoming feeling of crying?
Oh my God.
So that.
Wait, you had me I thought you was about to take me down this real good road.
Nah. No, it's just recall. It's a physical thing, right? Everything you can do, the body responds to physical stimulus.
Yeah.
So if I want to feel something, I might get my leg going. Oh, yeah, I got this pain in my leg right here, just so I can feel it.
Yeah.
I don't need to torture myself, but I feel it's
Mm-hmm.
still throbbing right there,
Mm-hmm.
right? So anyway, I don't know if that answers your question.
Definitely. So it's been a very gory year for pretty much the world with Corona. How has first of all, how are you?
I'm good. I'm vaccinated. I'm double vaxxed. I'm good. I'm moving around with a little more confidence, a lot more confidence actually. I've noticed because I've shot some stuff. I shot Black Lightning was the first thing I shot during COVID. I shot that in actually I shot 2 episodes of Black Lightning this year. And we shot in October.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was still kind of fresh and kind of new. I mean, mask was on, we had a face shield, and now I'm here today, and it's like they have to remind, hey, everybody, put your mask on. You know, it's kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
a little more lax because people are vaccinated. And I actually, I still wash my hands, clean my hands, but um, the crew has their mask on, but the actors we pretty much have our mask off.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm good. It's just I lost my best friend to this thing, man. So
Mm-hmm.
it's been really traumatic. Actually, his wow, yeah, the anniversary of his homegoing is coming up pretty quick here. So yeah, it's been a lot.
Yeah.
It's been a lot. And I have small children. I have a new granddaughter.
Oh,
Uh,
congratulations.
I have an older son, clearly. So I have I'm all over the map. So my son that you met, he had a kid.
I promise y'all look like brothers. Y'all don't y'all look like brothers, something for real.
He
Well,
ain't gonna like he ain't gonna like that.
well, we're sending healing energy and happy energy regarding the loss and everything. What is one thing you learned about yourself that you didn't know through the pandemic?
Wow. I've learned um to listen better. Um I've learned that people instinctively want to defend their space, right? So if you're in a conversation and you're having a conversation about an issue you're having, um, hey, can you put this knife away? Or like the person that you're speaking to wants to automatically, well, it's there for a reason. It's there because as opposed to just okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
So and that's not anybody in particular. So I'm not talking about anybody in particular,
Right.
but just an example that I just pulled out of the air. I find that people I don't need to place blame on where the problem came from. I just
Mm-hmm.
need to solve the problem,
Mm-hmm.
right? And if we all acknowledge that this knife being here is a problem, and we want to fix that problem, then everybody does what they need to do to put the knife away,
Right.
as opposed to I didn't put it there, they put it there. I don't care who put it there.
Let's get it.
If we all see it, we can all fix it. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's what I've known. Everybody is territorial about how they're moving through the space. I was just having this conversation on set today, man. There's an energy around individuality and not village and not community. And the community, the village, is how you heal, right? People are scared to move because they don't want to lose what they have. I'm
Mm-hmm.
guilty of it. And your professor at Spelman College, I have a big house, I have kids. I'm not doing a lot of moving around and speaking out on I speak out on some issues, but not all issues because it's not in the best interest of what I have.
Right.
But I'm thinking about humanity. Is that fair to not speak up about the inequalities that I see or the injustices that I see because I want to keep my own?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm only one example of that.
Yeah.
So I think we have to get beyond holding on to what we have. But we've been brainwashed to think that the American dream is about what you have,
Yeah.
not about what we have.
Yeah.
You know,
Definitely.
you know.
I can talk to you. You're like a man that's full of like a billion words of wisdom, and like I would just call you, just be like, I just need you to just encourage
Call
me for
me,
about 5 seconds.
call me, man. I appreciate. Thank you for saying that. I really. I was raised in a really good house. My parents were very interesting, good people. But my dad, we talked my dad and I had a conversation yesterday as I drove down to where I am, 2.5 hours. I think it's the longest I've ever spoken to my dad. Definitely the longest I've spoken to him since my mother passed, 4 years ago, right? And so I just feel like I don't know where I was going with that. I lost it. I forgot where I was going. Anyway, I feel like I need to be. I know what I'm saying. I learned a lot about how I want to move and talk and listen by people I see that aren't very good at listening.
Yeah.
Oh, they're not moving forward because they're not actually listening. They're not actively listening, and they're not constructively listening. They're listening for their chance to get in there and say something.
Yeah.
And so I've had to train myself to not look for the lull to say something, but actually be listening.
Yeah.
Actually remember people's names on set. The secret for those of you who don't know who say I have a bad memory, this is how you do it. When someone introduces themselves to you, you automatically say their name back to them. Oh, okay, Krista, nice meeting you. So Krista, Krista, where are you from? Oh, you know what, Krista, I'm from LA. Okay, well, Krista, I'm gonna go over here. Just say the name. Every once in a while, just keep saying it. When you first meet them, it's not hard.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. You intentionally say, I'm going to give this person the praise they need in this moment, because I may not know what I may need from them later on, or what they may need, but I want to be able to address them by their name.
I'm going to a show tonight full of musicians and music artists. I'm going to try that because my memory is shot.
No, it ain't. You think it is. Stop saying that.
Yes, sir. I digress. One thing you said, and I must commend you, is your relationship with your father, but I also want to commend the relationship with your son, because there's a lot of young Black men who don't have that with their father for whatever reason. So I commend you on the fact that you have established that as a son and as a father, because it's something that's deeply needed in the community. I know
three sons. I got 3 sons, man.
Man, I got one. 21 years old. I love him to life.
Yours is 20. I love that you said that, man. I say that too. I love him to life.
Love him to life, man. I know you can't talk too much about this next one, but how was it working on Genius, Aretha Franklin? That's the experience.
That's been aired. I can talk about that.
Okay, let's go.
I can talk about The Conjuring a lot. Man, Aretha. It was supposed to be a larger role for me, but I think with COVID and some stuff, it got from 4 episodes to like 2, and that's fine, man, because the payoff for me was working on a TV show written by Pulitzer Prize winning Susan Lloyd Parks.
Yeah.
Working with Emmy winner, Anthony Hemingway, who we worked together on Underground before. So for me, being cast by Anthony in that showed that he trusted me, because we worked together before. Whenever somebody hires me more than once, man, I'm always honored.
Yeah.
Have a recurring or another project with someone, it's always very flattering. And I love to work. I mean, I have a mortgage and everything, so I can't work for free, man. But it's about the art for me. But some people want the fame and stuff. I want the work. I want the challenging work. So when I tell my agents I want to work, it's not about money. I want to work. I want to work with people who love to work.
Yeah,
because that's what I love.
And I think
it was great.
It speaks in volume about you when it comes down to reoccurring roles or being recasted by the same person, because it speaks about your character as an individual and as an actor. Like it shows how credible and dependable you are. So salute to that.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
You had a line on Black Lightning that I literally stopped and rewind like 5 times so that I can get this straight. You have everything you need, no more hiding under the bed. In order to accomplish something you've never done, you have to use what you never have. So go out and get it done.
Get it done.
That is a life lesson.
Yeah. yeah, and and the irony is that this young that Black Lightning, right? He is Jefferson is um so broken, traumatized by his
Yeah.
father's passing, the way his father was killed in front of him, that he's still connected to his father and still is receiving lessons from the memory of his father,
Mm-hmm.
create creating new memories based on what he knew from his father at 11 or 12 years old. That's
Mm-hmm.
how old he was when his father was killed in front of him. So for him to now be in his 40s as a father of two children, a husband, and still be getting these lessons from beyond the grave is amazing. And I think it tells it's also a lesson in being in tune with the ancestors, man, being in tune with the people who are the
Yeah.
energy that is protecting us and looking out for us. And if you aren't sensitive enough to be susceptible to that, you're going to miss lessons because you think that you're operating on your own understanding of things, and
Yes.
there's so much we don't understand. But if we listen, I think that there are angels around us, ancestors around us, energy around us that will save us from the pitfalls that we that
Mm-hmm.
you remember the episode. You probably, oh no, you old enough. Remember? Did you watch Good Times?
Yes.
All right. Remember Larry when Larry was going deaf and Larry was at the elevator shaft
And about
waving
the fall.
goodbye.
Yeah.
You're about to fall, right?
Yeah.
Right. So angels around him, man. We don't, if we're not sensitive to them, we're gonna fall down the shaft.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna fall if we're not hearing them, right? I mean, that character was deaf in one ear,
Yeah.
but you get the point.
Definitely. I think that to me, whenever I saw you say it, I saw you saying it as the character, but
Mm.
I can literally see you sitting down with your son whenever he was younger, or however, like that being like a father, literally a father talking to a son, and like the passion that you had behind it made me feel it to where like I literally had that same conversation with my son in so many words, man. I think that,
It's beautiful about the way they shot it too, because they shot it with young Jefferson and old Jefferson too.
and I was kind of surprised at the first. I was like, "Am I seeing the same
Yeah, yeah.
thing?"
Hmm. Yeah, Black Lightning Man was a gift. I wish I could have explored it little bit more, man. But the time that I got to spend on that set, it was just that show is historic in a lot of ways.
Yes,
In terms of his representation, in terms of the message, in terms of being unapologetically black,
yes,
and the mantra, man. Just the Malcolm X mantra of "by any means necessary."
mm-hmm,
That
mm-hmm,
just throughout the 4 years of hearing that, let's do it through by any means necessary. Doesn't
yeah,
mean go out and kill people, but it means to be unapologetically forget polite.
yeah,
We have to the end of this race together and all win.
yeah.
Right. So, yeah, Black Lightning well, it will continue to be a gift. In a lot of ways, I don't know if it's over. So
I hope it's not, because the way it ended with everybody turning over to with the kids, I'm like, I'm ready for this. I'm ready for the next season, man.
yeah.
I have 10 minutes to go, and I feel like I need like 10 hours, man. I love talking to you. We are acknowledging this month as Mental Health Awareness,
Mm.
and I want to know from you how important in your line of work is it to have either something or someone to decompress after a long, stressful day.
It's very important. I have my wife, so and in this total transparency, you to protect your relationship, you can't always share everything with your significant other. So you need other people. You need a therapist, or a confidant, somebody you really trust who has your back, who's going to maybe just listen. I have a
Yeah,
really good friend, my kid's godmother, man. She's just a great listener. And it's invaluable. We in this pandemic, we were in the house, from March until now, really. And but we have each other to tape. My wife's an actress too, so we tape things together.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we've been taking that for granted for a while. But it really became clear that a lot of people are alone,
Yeah.
especially artists. Now there's some artists that it's no problem to be alone. Sculptors, painters, singers. But you talk about art acting, that's you don't need another actor. You can do a one person show, but you need an audience. So there's always something involved with creating that art.
Mm-hmm.
And I really realized that there are a lot of actors out there who don't have somebody at home with them to bounce ideas off of, to coach them without jealousy, honestly, or to even tape with. Just they don't
Yeah.
have that. So yeah, I'm blessed to have all of that, man. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man. I promise I can sit down and you're like the uncle that I'm supposed to have in my life that I don't have.
You making me old, man. Uncles are old, man. I'm supposed to be your brother. What you talking about?
Man, you could be my brother, you could be my uncle, you could be my oldest brother because man, I enjoy like even the first time we met, man. Like you are that person, man. I appreciate God for just creating you, man.
Oh, man, thank you, man. Thank you.
At the end of this, I always have to, ask, let the audience, let the listening and the viewing audience know where they can find more information about you.
Oh, easy. I'm on all social media platforms as Keith Arthur Bolden. Um, I also have a website. You can find it Bolden Clan with a K, Bolden Clan, BOLDEN Clan, KLAN.com. Or our company, Bold Entertainment. Not
Okay.
Bold Entertainment, but Bold Entertainment. So my last name with entertainment at the end of it. Bold
Okay.
Entertainment.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
And also you can find him in your movie theater, The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. You can find him on CW's Black Lightning. I promise. I'm watching that show again tonight at the office if I have to. Netflix Cobra Kai, Genius, Aretha Franklin, and he will also be on the upcoming release of Disney's Jungle Cruise, starring the one and only Dwayne freaking Johnson. Man, congrats! You are busy.
Thank you, man. Yeah. And I'm directing a show at the Alliance in Atlanta this fall. So hands up. So come check that out. There'll be some other stuff going on, man. Auditions are always happening. So I'm blessed to have this platform. And if anybody's interested in going to Spelman or Morehouse, holler at your boy.
I was just about to say Spelman and Morehouse, they got a professor.
Yeah.
God. Is that something that you saw
I
coming along?
Better be good.
Is that something that you planned on doing, or were you just inspired by something?
No, when I went to graduate school, it was in the back of my head that if I could teach with an MFA.
Yeah.
And so that's I don't want to say I chased it, but that was always what I was kind of like, okay, I can do this. I need to. And so the amazing thing about Atlanta is I've been able to do both in Atlanta. I've been able to teach and act because the amount of work that's in Atlanta, in and around Georgia, has been amazing for me.
Yeah.
And the school looks at that as my professional development, my contribution to the college, and so a lot of that work is why I received tenure at the college as well. So yeah.
Man, congratulations on everything. Man, I was about to start a whole nother conversation, but what we're going to do is this. We're going to put a pin in it, and you're going to have another huge project, and you're going to be the star of the role, and I'm going to have to get you because you're going to be starring in it. It's going to be yours.
Okay. Hey,
everybody.
I received that.
Hey, I believe if I speak certain things out of my mouth, God actually hears my little quirky voice.
Praise him.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Tazz. I'm joined with the one and only Mr. Keith Arthur Bolden. You are watching and listening to the Intro Dallas podcast. Do me a favor, follow Mr. Bolden. We'll have all of his information listed in the description. I need y'all to follow him, patronize him. If you are in the ATL area and you are going to either Spelman or Morehouse, do me a favor, find him and tell him that Tazz said, hey, That's it. Hey, love you guys, and we out.
3, 2, 1. Hey, what's up, everybody? And I thank you guys once again for checking out today's show. Do me a favor and follow us on social media. On Facebook, it's the Intro Dallas Podcast, and on Twitter and Instagram, it's SMG Officially. Also, check out our previous shows wherever you find your podcasts. Just type in the Intro Dallas Podcast. You never know. We just may have your favorite artist or whoever next, or that artist or that person just may be you. For information on how you can be a guest on the Intro Dallas Podcast, send us an email to spotlightmedia.info@gmail.com, or you can just inbox us on one of our social media platforms. It's your boy Tazz. Hey, new show coming up. Let's go.